Hi Aries, and welcome to your retrograde tarot reading. This tarot reading is intended to bring all the retrogrades that are happening right now into one tarot reading and bring the primary focus of this retrograde cycle for you guys. Where is the primary area of your life that the review is taking place the strongest, okay? Because retrograde energy is all about the review of certain areas of your life, as well as the return and the reward of some energy, okay? So Aries, right now, we currently have Saturn retrograde in the 10th house, Pluto retrograde in the 10th house, Neptune retrograde in the 12th house, Mars, your ruling planet, is retrograde in the 11th house, moving into the 10th house. And we have Chiron retrograde in your sign as well, moving back into Pisces. We have Mercury retrograde in the 5th house of Leo. And then we have Uranus going retrograde, moving from Taurus, the 2nd house, back into the 1st house of Aries, your energy. So as you can see, this retrograde cycle right now is highly impactful to Aries, as a couple of these retrogrades are happening in your sign. So Aries, Saturn retrograde is all about, the review of our life lessons, the cause and effect of our actions and what we put out. Pluto is the review of what area of your life needs to transform, to improve for the betterment of you, for the betterment of the quality of life that you live. Neptune is the review of illusions and bringing all things to truth, where you may have been deceiving yourself or others deceiving you. And Mars, your ruling planet being retrograde, what triggers you, Aries? What really pushes your buttons? And where do you need to become more empowered and assertive in your life? Chiron, the great healer, moving from out of Aries back into Pisces. This is the review of old wounds, what still needs to be healed, what have you swept under the rug. And, Chiron's going to pull that out and say, nope, it's time to heal this. We need to release this. We need to let this go. And then lastly, well, I guess not lastly, but Mercury is retrograde. And Mercury is what I like to refer to as the Twilight Zone retrograde energy. It's short-lived, about 3 weeks, but it's like so much of the past returns during a Mercury retrograde, which is an indication of where do you need balance in your life. And then lastly, Uranus goes retrograde on August 7th, which is going from Taurus 2nd house back into Aries 1st house. So before we have big changes, what loose ends do we need to tie up within ourselves, within our life, so that we can move forward, okay? Mercury will go direct on August 19th, followed by Mars on August 27th. Saturn goes direct September 6th. Pluto goes direct October 1st. Neptune direct November 25th. Chiron December 9th. And then Uranus on January 7th, 2019. So Aries, what this means is as we head into Virgo season and Libra season, the energies are going to start balancing out and settling down. And, life will feel a bit better. I've put links for your eclipse season video in the description box below. I highly recommend you watch that if you have not viewed that video, as it will tie into this reading. I've also left links for, more information about the retrogrades, specifically for readings that I've done. If you would like to get more information about that, okay? So, Aries, I'm going to do a reading to see to what end is this review for you with all this retrograde energy. Where is this taking you? So we have the Hanging Man, and what this means, Aries, is this is to this review, all this retrograde energy is to remove blocks in your life, but also to shift you into new perceptions about yourself, about your belief system, about your patterns of behavior, about the situations you're involved with, and about various relationships in your life. All right. This is, you know, pretty big energy for you guys. This is, you know, blocks being removed, Aries, if you properly review and utilize this retrograde energy to its fullest to allow your consciousness to expand and your emotional maturity to also expand. It removes blocks. Big time, you're coming into new perceptions. So let's pull some tarot cards to see exactly what you're reviewing. What is the primary focus with this Hangman? Where is this block that's going to lift? Where is this new perception that needs to take place? And once that happens, where is it leading us to? So let's see, Aries. Let me shuffle up the tarot for you guys. Okay. So, the main review, we have the Tower, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Two of Cups. Now, and we have 4 more cards, so you had a total of 7 cards fly out. So, as your review, Aries, this is really where you are seeing things from a much different perspective about, I'm going to say more relationships in your life. This could be family, this could be friend, this could be lover, and this could also include the relationship you hold with yourself and the relationship you hold with the divine. With the Tower in this position, it's like you are coming into a very deep and profound understanding where you're seeing your own hand in events in your life and the way things have played out. So where you may have previously felt victim to a relationship and the way things happened, it's like you're coming into a new perspective where, yes, it doesn't take away the fact that you may have been manipulated, taken advantage of, or harmed, but you're coming into the understanding of how you allowed that energy to play out in your life, okay? It's like a big time shift in your consciousness, in your understanding. And with this, it's also like seeing things in your relationship from a communication, okay? The things that you have said, things that have been said to you. Also, people that need to be cut out of your life, Aries, that aren't in your highest good. All of this retrograde energy, really for me, when it comes to you guys, is about relationships. And since this is general, this is relationships of all kinds. Where you've been blocked, you've been rejected, things didn't work out, things failed. You are really coming in to understand why all of that happened. Whether it's that person wasn't in your highest good and it was time to let go and move on. Whether that person was really taking advantage of you and pushing you, which ultimately is to facilitate you to become more assertive in yourself and create personal boundary, all right? So Aries, this is big time about relationships, including the relationship with yourself and the relationship with the divine, and you are coming into brand new perspective. And where does that lead? That's atonement. That's balance of your energy. Now we have the Magician, which is things manifesting. No longer any sort of deception, deceit, or betrayal. And then we have the Hermit. So you have 3 major arcana, 1 minor over here on the side to where this is all leading. And Aries, you know, it's like when the moment comes, because there's going to be conversations, there's going to be relationships returning to you between now and the end of the year, 100% for sure, with this spread of cards. And when that happens, it's very important that you speak your truth entirely. You lay your cards out on the table, how you truly feel about things, what you really think, even wrongs that you have done, and apologizing for that. It's like you need to put all your cards out on the table and be 100% honest with all of these relationships. And that's what leads you into greater happiness. And you know what? Some of you, I feel as though you are ending some relationships through this retrograde energy, and you're spending some time alone. But those of you who are spending some time alone, that is by your choice. Like, you are making that choice where you're like, I don't want to be in a relationship, or I don't want to deal with all these so-called friends. You're tightening your circle. But it's like you can no longer escape your personal truth. And if you have any sort of relationship in your life that's not honoring you or valuing you, it will just kind of chafe away at you. You won't even be able to participate in it, okay? So Aries, let's pull some cards to get outcome to all this energy. So we have the High Priestess of Air. Yep. This is coming at things from such a logical understanding and perspective. It's like nobody can win. You will be like, you know, if somebody's trying to manipulate you, and they always have in the past, it's like you're 5 steps ahead of them now, because your perception has shifted. Your consciousness has expanded. You've emotionally matured in ways that they have not through all of this retrograde energy. And they can't win. It's like you will call them out on all their BS, and excuses and justifications no longer hold any place in your empathy. You're like, no, you're out of luck. Either you're real and you state your truth, or you're gone. Like, it's pretty much that's what's being said here. It's if somebody's not real with you and authentic 100%, you have no trouble cutting them out and not allowing them to reach you, okay? Next, we have trapped. So, any sort of relationship you felt obligated to participate in, to entertain because of the history, because of what they've done for you in the past, or just anything like that, you're breaking out of that paradigm, out of that mold. It's not about the history. It's not about blood. It's not about what you've done for me. It's about the right now and who you are evolving into. And, you know, if somebody is just always crapping in your face, you're like, I don't care that I've known you for 25 years. You're just never there for me. Therefore, I'm going to distance myself from you. I'm not obligated to entertain this relationship anymore. I'm not obligated to participate in this anymore. Some of you, this might be romantic, where you've been with somebody for a very long time and you're just at the end of your rope, and you haven't been quite sure of that. Through all this retrograde and eclipse energy, it's like you're going to come into that understanding, and you no longer want to be trapped. It's either things are going to change or you're out of there. And it's just, you're very strong and empowered in yourself, because again, your consciousness has expanded, and you've grown into an emotional maturity and wisdom that you didn't previously have access to vibrationally. All right, Aries, so this is very deep and profound as far as relationships go for you guys. So, you know, by the end of the year, you, I feel, know who your tribe is and who's not. And there's, I would say for the most part, the biggest changes for you guys come into play with your relationships, okay? So those are your messages, Aries. I am wishing you all the very best. Take care.